Hi guys, this is Klazart bringing you another audio commentary, and this time I'm commentating on a game between Luxury Zerg and Inter.Mind, and this is a matchup that was played yesterday in the StarChallenge League, which is basically a prelude to getting into the next season's OnGameNet Star League, which is obviously the most prestigious individual Korean tournament right now. And this is actually the final matchup in the losers bracket, so the person who wins this matchup will go through, the person who loses unfortunately will be out. And Luxury is a player who has been playing for OnGameNet Sparkies on quite regular occasion. He has been a regular member of their team sheet and in their lineup, and has been performing reasonably well for them. He has recorded some good victories, though he has lost a couple of tough games against good players such as Flash. And unfortunately, he lost the first game of this versus Jaedong, which was a Zerg versus Zerg, and therefore ended up in the losers bracket. He is someone who I have backed for some time now and predicted for some time that would be knocking on the door of the Star Leagues in the coming seasons, because he has been displaying some impressive performances, and he is the brother of Yarnak Yellow, known by some players as Fake Yellow, who is also a Zerg player, and they're actually twins and they look very much alike. So I'm excited to see this match. Inter.Mind is a Terran player who has demonstrated some great skills and is definitely a very good player and possibly one to watch out for the future. Obviously, it's important that he qualified through this round if he wants to make a name for himself. Unfortunately, he hasn't really produced a lot as yet. He is relatively new to the scene and hasn't really produced much to be impressive. And it looks like Luxury is actually going for a Zergling rush. He's put up that spawning pool first before going for an expansion of any sort, and this matchup is being played on Python, which is an exciting map, and it'll be interesting to see what the result of that is, because obviously Inter.Mind has not gone for a fast expansion, and Luxury going for that 9 pool has put himself at risk. If this rush fails, he's going to find himself in big trouble, and he has yet to find his opponent's base, and we saw that in a previous matchup. We saw in a previous match where a Zerg player actually rushed an opponent. It was actually a Zerg versus Zerg in the MSL. It was July versus Gorush, and July went for the Zergling rush on this map, and it failed because he couldn't scout the opponent, and his Zerglings went to the wrong place. And Luxury might find himself at a similar disadvantage here. However, he has eliminated at least one of the bases with his Overlord. He's actually also blocked his ramp with that drone, so that's critical, but that has to give Inter.Mind a hint that there is a rush coming, that there is a reason why Luxury is blocking off his ramp with the probe. The fact that Luxury has not yet planted an expansion at his natural, has not yet gone for that hatchery at his natural expand, should be enough to give Inter.Mind a hint that Luxury is going for that rush. And now Luxury's first 6 Zerglings pop out, so Luxury going for the early spawning pool and the Zerglings. Inter.Mind knows that this is coming, and he's blocked his ramp with 4 SCVs. Luxury now knows where Inter.Mind's base is, so I don't see this as being a very effective rush for Luxury. I suppose it wasn't an all-in rush, because he did go 9 pool, so he did give himself a chance of coming back in terms of economy. I guess he wanted to make sure that what happened to Savior versus Firebat Hero in Game 5 doesn't happen to him here, and therefore he probably went for that early spawning pool, though he could have easily gone for that spawning pool after his first hatchery. And Luxury just trying to get up that ramp. He's just going to try and do a little bit of damage to Inter.Mind. He managed to kill off 1 SCV, but not do any further damage greater than that, and Inter.Mind has been able to actually get in his base and scout it with that SCV. So Luxury at a little bit of a disadvantage here. He has invested in that. He did invest in that fast spawning pool, and that obviously has not paid off for him. So you've got to give Inter.Mind a little bit of an advantage. But we did see in a previous game, we saw I Love Ubi versus Jaedong, where Jaedong went for a relatively fast spawning pool after his first hatchery, and Jaedong actually executed a 3 Zergling rush. So maybe we'll see something of that sort from Luxury here. Please bear in mind that I have not seen this game before, so I'm not sure who's going to do what. And you can see Luxury's got his Zerglings positioned all over the map, and the purpose of this specifically is to deny any sort of proxy build or proxy rush to Inter.Mind. Luxury has definitely watched that game between Savior and Firebat Hero, and he doesn't want to be caught unaware by a strategy like that by Inter.Mind, and he also wants to make sure that Inter.Mind doesn't get a secret expansion going somewhere, and he's going to try and stop that. So Inter.Mind, with that SCV scouting still in Luxury's base, is doing an effective job of keeping Luxury busy and not allowing Luxury to advance his tech, because obviously he would be aware of what is going on. Luxury has taken that gas. Inter.Mind now pushing forward with a few Marines and SCVs. We might actually see a belated bunker attack here. That would be very strange to see that. Inter.Mind just pushing out with those Marines and SCVs seems to be a little bit fruitless, but Inter.Mind is now actually, the purpose of that was to try and maneuver that SCV towards the south, and Inter.Mind actually managed to get that SCV around. He wants to get another SCV in to scout Luxury's base and see exactly what Luxury has. We haven't seen Inter.Mind's base for some time now, so I'm not sure if he's gone for a second command center yet, or if he is going to put up more barracks and try and go for some early pressuring with the Medic and Marine group. Luxury now setting up that creep colony, setting up that sunken just outside his base, so he should be able to deny this scout to Inter.Mind. He's also blocked that ramp with that Zergling, so great play by Luxury. He's blocked that ramp with that Zergling, and Inter.Mind is not going to be able to get up, and Inter.Mind actually managed to get past that Zergling and up that ramp, so that's very unfortunate for Luxury. Luxury does have a hidden hatchery though at the top, at the bottom left corner of his base. I'm not sure if Inter.Mind is spotted. Inter.Mind does look like he's going for more barracks, so it looks like Inter.Mind will be, and Inter.Mind has actually set up that command center, so Inter.Mind going for that early fast expansion, probably after his first barracks, because he's only building a second barracks now, and that is a little bit of a risk because Luxury obviously has got 3 hatcheries, and Luxury is aware of that because Luxury has managed to scout that himself with his Zergling, so Luxury knows that Inter.Mind has gone for that expansion, and Inter.Mind now with an SCV also hidden at the 6 o'clock main, and Inter.Mind just having enough Marines to push Luxury's Zerglings back, and Luxury obviously aware, Luxury's teching to lair here, and the fact that Inter.Mind has gone for that command center may put him in a little bit of a dilemma because he might not have enough to defend when the Mutalisks pop out, as I'm sure they will quite soon, and Inter.Mind is now building his second and third barracks, so Inter.Mind does have that Medic and Marine group up, and he should be able to pressure Luxury into investing a few more resources and perhaps slow down Luxury's Mutalisks a little bit, and Inter.Mind with that full Medic and Marine group, Luxury doing an excellent job of keeping Inter.Mind pinned back in his base with that group of wandering Zerglings outside his base, and Luxury now being forced by the presence of that Medic and Marine group to build a couple more Sunkens. His lair is complete, I have not seen it, and Luxury is actually going for the Hydralisk Den. Luxury is not going for the Spire, so he's got the Hydralisk Den at that hidden hatchery, and I don't think Inter.Mind is aware of the position of that hatchery, so Inter.Mind is not going to be able to scout that, so he might actually get taken by surprise a little bit here. Inter.Mind now moving out with a group of Medics and Marines and Firebats. Luxury just maneuvering his Zerglings around to try and create a flank, to try and prevent Inter.Mind from presenting a united front to those Sunkens. Luxury does have a Sunken and at least 2 creep colonies. I'm not sure if he's converted them to Sunkens. It didn't look like at least one of them. It looked like had not been converted yet. So Luxury now has 3 creep colonies set up at his natural expo, and that's going to make it difficult for Inter.Mind to be able to push. And Inter.Mind content to just sit outside his expo and just ward Luxury's Zerglings off for now. He has got that engineering bay up, and it'll be interesting to see if he does try to put up a few turrets in anticipation of Mutalisks without actually having scanned Luxury. Without actually having scanned the Spire and investing resources in that, because if that was the case, then Luxury would definitely benefit from that. That would be a great deception by Luxury. Luxury has not converted those creep colonies into Sunkens. He needs to do that now because Inter.Mind is advancing with those Medic Marines. He's trying to pressure Luxury into doing it, but Luxury is actually just keeping Inter.Mind pinned back by view of his Zerglings and stopping Inter.Mind from there. Luxury sending a drone up, and Inter.Mind has an SCV there as well to the 12 o'clock base, and it looked like perhaps Inter.Mind was just scouting to see if Luxury had gone for an extra expansion with the 3rd gas, and he's just sending a couple of units up now to that expansion to make sure that Luxury does not get that hatchery up and running. And Luxury is planting a hatchery down there, so Luxury is also sending a couple of Hydralisks down towards the south, and Inter.Mind is now going to be aware of that Hydralisk Den, so he realized that Luxury probably has not gone for the Spire and that he does not need to invest heavily in turrets. Luxury though is going to have those lurkers up pretty soon, and I feel Luxury went for to send those Hydralisks to the south, not just to scout but also to try and secure that expansion by view of a couple of lurkers, and he is building lurkers there, so Luxury trying to establish himself with some kind of presence on the map. Both players content to play relatively defensively at this point in time, and Inter.Mind has got a Firebat up at that 12 o'clock expansion, and so that hatchery is going to get taken. Now Luxury is going to need to reinforce that if he wants to survive and if he wants to be able to defend it, and Inter.Mind also sending a group of Medic and Marines to make sure that Luxury is unable to establish an expansion at 5 o'clock, so Inter.Mind concentrating on stopping Luxury from getting that 3rd expansion up. Luxury has now sent Zerglings up towards, has now sent a group of lurkers up towards that expansion at 12 o'clock to secure it. So Luxury definitely trying to establish himself over the map, trying to give himself an economic advantage. Inter.Mind sending straggling forces around that. Inter.Mind is going to find these forces just cornered in the middle of the map. Inter.Mind with a group of Medics and Marines is going to find them in trouble with these lurkers and Zerglings, and Luxury with some excellent play managing to pincer some of those Medics and Marines and kill some of them off. Inter.Mind trying to go for that expansion at the 12 o'clock position, but Inter.Mind now finds his forces separated from his main. Luxury's got a large group of Zerglings streaming in, and Luxury looks like he might be going for an attack here because he's got a lot of lurkers and Zerglings, and Inter.Mind has got 1 barracks complete. He's now almost got a 2nd barracks complete. Luxury has a significant number of lurkers, so Inter.Mind doesn't have a lot of troops in his base because he did have those troops venturing around in the middle of the map, and this might spell trouble for Inter.Mind. Luxury has a lot of lurkers there. Inter.Mind with his force fragmented and not enough troops to defend the ground is finding himself in trouble here. He's not able to actually go up against those lurkers, and his and he did not have siege tanks now, so Inter.Mind leaving his base undefended, venturing out trying to prevent Luxury from establishing map control, and Luxury has taken advantage of that opportunity to go for this mass lurker rush, and Inter.Mind calls GG. Inter.Mind calls GG because Luxury has taken that ramp. Brilliant play by Luxury. He did not go for the Spire. He went straight for lurkers and Zerglings, and therefore was able to build more of them. Inter.Mind, even though he didn't build enough turrets, did not actually go for an adequate counter to those lurkers. So Luxury with an innovative strategy, with a strategy that has not been seen for some time, going purely for lurkerling and managing to catch Inter.Mind off guard and pulling out the victory, therefore qualifying for the on-game at Star League, and he is definitely a player that we will be excited to see in the next season, alongside the likes of Xavier and GG Play, adding to the Zerg roster, hopefully in the next Star League. I believe he does have to go through another tournament, the On-Game Net Duel tournament, I think, before he can qualify for the next Star League, though I'm not 100% sure of that. This is Klazart, thanks for watching.